Right, I'll just adjust the lighting to that. Looks all right. Doesn't look too bad there. Let's see if I can get on the yellow mode, because that looks a bit better normally on the camera. There we go. Right, so time for a live stream. I'll be on 30 minutes to an hour, depending on sort of how good the chat is and everything else. Let me just set that to live chat now, actually, before I forget. Otherwise, it does the thing where it hides comments, which is really annoying. Right, anyway, so I'm on. Right, Dan. Right, baby. Yeah, not much. Finally got an evening with a bit of time to do a stream. Afternoon, AK, well, evening for me, but yeah, not too bad. All right, Rich. But yeah, it's sort of recently I've just been really busy with work and all that stuff, you know, where I've just not had time to do videos or whatever. So this evening I've got a bit of time. I had a nap for a couple of hours earlier, so I've got up to literally do a stream now. When you say airbrush, do you mean some sort of mask? Or do you mean like something that actually sprays stuff, so you need a mask? For particle protection, anything that's P3, basically. So obviously it wouldn't hurt to get a proper mask that does everything. But if you can only get some sort of half-face respirator with P3 filters, that will do. But yeah, it's hard to know, you know, without sort of specifying a bit more what you need, you know, what I'd recommend. Not at the moment, Dan. Hype very kindly donated me a drone recently. So I'm going to do the registration to fly drones heavier than 500 grams and do a video of that quite soon. F6 respirators are probably about 40 to 100 pounds, I'd assume, at the moment. I don't actually know, but they're not 30 quid anymore like they used to be a while ago. So yeah, you probably have to look up to spending £100, I assume, for an F6. So what I've got tonight, which is quite good, is one of these. So guilt-free alcoholism, basically beer where all the money goes to Ukraine when you buy it. So yeah, quite a good sort of exchange that, I guess. And again, sorry for all the sort of crap on the camera. That's, as I said, that's laser burns. But I'll just close one of my apps because I've got people PMing me as soon as I stream as usual, which is really annoying. You know, there's hours today where people could have PM'd me. They're doing it as soon as I start streaming. Says Ukraine's most loved beer, so I assume it is Ukrainian, but I don't know. Oh, brewed in the UK. So yeah, brewed in the UK, it says on the small print. It's a bit like a Foster's, you know, it's not brilliant beer, but the fact that, you know, it's cheap and the money goes to Ukraine is quite good. So I bought like 40 of them the other day, whatever it was. The beer, it's is it 4.8%, I think. Yeah, 4.8%, which makes it 2.1 units a can. Sadly, that's not a Javelin. That's an AT4. I've done a video on it. The AT4 is the one that the in-laws are replacing in British service. So it's, you know, it was the single shot dumbfire sort of fire and forget missile launcher. Right, bots? Oh, that sounds really good, Rich, if you can get a load of steel quite cheap because they're sort of, you know, not got the right stuff. I said it's definitely not the best beer. It's you know, it's a lager. Like I said, I prefer bitters and like Guinness and, you know, like stouts and bitters really personally, but it's not bad. And like we said, it's a charity beer, so who cares? That one guy, I'm pretty sure all all British masks come in small, medium, large for most masks. That doesn't sound fun, bots. But yeah, like I said, if you've got time Friday, then we'll try and do that video on Friday, where I can talk about this piece of shit and some of the other ones. I do need to dig out where the masks are, because one of the masks I want to include in the video, I'm not exactly sure where it is. So I want to, in the video, do the pewter. What are the other ones I wanted to do? The Polish ML, or whatever it's called, that sort of industrial respirator, and there was another mask. I don't think it was a Sieb Gorman. I can't actually remember now what the third mask was. That's quite good, Dan. Well, I don't like Azov in the sense that they're Nazi sympathisers, as other people have said, but you know, they're on our side of the war, so take what, you know, take that what you will. But like I say, the funny thing, it's not really funny, but in Mariupol, the old Jewish people weren't being killed by Azov, but they've been killed by Russians. So, you know. Yeah, it should be good, bots, when we do that video. Well, the Russians, for the person who says war coming, bro, the Russians are threatening every week now to nuke the UK. But you know, I think they forget that we have our own subs with nuclear missiles on, so you know, probably not a good idea. They're threatening to nuke France now as well, aren't they? And it's like France has even more nukes than the UK. Like France is, I think, after Russia and America, has the most nukes in the world. So it's like threatening the French is not a good idea with nuclear war. No, I completely agree with you there, Thomas. Yeah. It's just very convenient for the Russians, isn't it, that they bring up stuff about Ukrainian Nazis when they have their own neo-Nazi problem. He might try again. I'm not inside the man's head, and the man's probably shitting himself in his little bunker at his long table, so I don't know. So in a way, baby, I kind of hope they do, just because the faster all this raping and murdering ends, you know, when they get their shit kicked in, the better. Well, exactly, Dan. They're doing two things, like I said in the video the other day. One of the things they're saying is all the British weapons we're sending to Ukraine are shit and don't work, and at the same time, stop sending weapons or we'll nuke you. I wonder if it's more the case that N-Laws and Star Streaks and whatever are wrecking their shit. From what I understand at the moment, actually, is that they're launching another fucking assault on Azovstal. So, you know, they'll be losing thousands more troops pretty quickly. Yes, they did. In like you're saying, in Syria, they decided to attack. The Russians decided to attack with the Syrians, American troops stationed in Syria, and they got as fucking wrecked as you'd think they would. As in, no Americans dead, some Americans wounded, several hundred dead Russians. I have, but there's one theory of these explosions. Right, so the theory I've heard that makes the most sense, so all these explosions going on in Russia and all these fires, it could be the Ukrainians doing it, it could be saboteurs, it could be the government doing false flags. One other thing somebody said, which makes more sense to me, if it's happening on a military base, the army base is told you need to send whatever equipment you have to the front lines. It's all been sold off, you know, and the money's been embezzled. So the commander burns down the base to hide the fact that they've, not got all this equipment they're meant to have. Chase, what's the $3 million tank? But in general, 3,000 anti-tank guns sounds like a better odd. I saw the ones of the patrol boats getting blown up by Bayraktars the other day, Jamal, if that's the one you're on about. Right, Shackleton. Oh yeah, lots of the good bits from the Soviet Union came from Ukraine, as in terms of like design bureaus and everything like that. Rob, it's not bad at all. That's my point, is that the Russians are getting butthurt over us sending equipment to Ukraine. But yeah, we're sending loads of stuff. So like some of the older bits of body armor and that aren't great. But Star Streaks and N-Laws are really fucking good. It's just, you know, we've not got all that many to send. And again, Star Streak is one of those ones where for ages people were debating how good Star Streak would actually be, because it's a bit of a weird kind of anti-air missile. But it turns out now it's actually being used in the conflict theatre. It really does its job. So Star Streak, for those of you that don't know, is like a Mach 3 missile, like Mach 3 to 4 missile that shoots 3 explosive darts. Well, I definitely want to go to Ukraine after they win the war. Like I said, I wanted to go to Ukraine before to tour Chernobyl, but you know, I really want to go now. I mean, obviously you can judge by the flag in the background which side I'm on, but oh, what were your ones where it was getting hit by like various weapons? My favourite riot shield, I've got one of the big ones here. Look, let me turn the camera around so you can see it. So, if we can get that. I've got one of the riot shields there with the scimitar pens sticking on it. But what I've also got is it's down here somewhere. Yeah, it is. Hang on a second. This is the one I actually like a lot more, is the round riot shield, just because it's a lot more practical. If I can get it up, because it's obviously behind a lot of stuff. Right, it's quite heavy. The not the riot shield's heavy, it's the fact that there's so much pushed against it. So this is the riot shield that I like the most, actually, this one. You know, the round ones, because they're actually quite practical. So, compared to the big riot shields, obviously, it's nowhere near as good for, like, digging into the ground and, like, not throwing your balance off. But these are actually really, really practical little shields. I might buy another one of these, actually, but yeah. I ought to really, at some point, do some videos of, like, crossbows and, if I can get a second one, you know, like, air rifles versus this. But, like I said, it's actually quite a good thing in terms of just lightweight, you know, because what, this weighs like a kilo or something, and all that. And again, I think they normally have foam covering those, don't they? But you could, in theory, convert the screws on the front to like spikes. So if you wanted to punch somebody with it, you know, you could stab them. Yeah. This is Sparta. I might watch 300 quite soon again. Oh, there goes my 3090 box. Again, for the people sort of just bring it up, I have nothing against Russian people. You know, I haven't heard from them in ages because sadly, you know, their internet's probably been cut off and everything. But you know, I used to have some quite good Russian subscribers and members on this channel, but like I said, I haven't heard from them in ages. But I hope they're doing all right, you know, and I really actually hope most of them, you know, got out the country, because I really hate the idea of some of their kids, you know, being conscripted to die in this fucking stupid war. Yeah, a lot of people, AK, think on May the 9th he's going to announce a full-on war rather than like the limited special military operation. Yeah, Rajiv, I've got a 3090 just because, you know, like I like playing video games, so why not have the best video card ever, you know, at the moment. And also the good thing of the 3090 is when I'm not playing video games, it can be mining, so it makes me about £5 every day in terms of like cryptos. That's cool, bots. I didn't even know you had a M45. I probably should have done, but the M45 is a really cool mask, isn't it? But yeah, that sounds good. But like the M45 is one of those masks I've always really liked the look of. So here's a question for you, which is probably really obvious if you know the history of the mask, but I actually don't know too much about it. Why didn't they just pick the M45 as like the standard service respirator? Was it just like because the M50 came too soon, after the M40? Now and again I sell equipment on eBay, but not very often. Like I said, I'll sell stuff now and again to make room for stuff. GP5 for €10 isn't a bad price at all, actually. Okay, well, so that's interesting. So it's basically too high quality for its own good. I think we've had that issue in the UK before with various bits of equipment. So soldiers ended up getting shit tier equipment because the good tier equipment are like, oh, we can't mass produce that. All right, so that sounds good. No, the M50 is an Avon mask. The M45, I think, was a US developed mask. So the M50 is essentially a British mask, and the C50, but the M45, I think, is a fully US mask. Sadly, not Jamal. I'd love to have a Spaz 12. I'd rather have a live one than a deactivated one, but sadly, no, I don't have either. I think Weapon Collector, I think Mike has a Spaz 12, but I think he has an airsoft one, if I remember right. But it's on this wall with all his other guns. So the coolest thing I have is probably that thing, which sadly I can't pick up on the live stream because of YouTube policies, but the Steyr Orc, which I really, really like. ABEC 2P3 sounds completely fine. That would be pretty similar to a CBRN filter, yes. Because if that's inorganic, organic, A is organic, but organic, inorganic, acidic, and what's the K one? Ammonia. If it's all those to level 2, it's a pretty damn good filter. For a Stalker Airsoft outfit, I would say get a Soviet PDF and then just make the eyes stronger, either by putting some mesh in front of them or, an extra bit of polycarbonate or whatever. The Finnish M61 is a really good quality copy of the M9. The Yugoslavian M1 is shit tier, as in it melts. It's a really bad quality rubber. So it's like two ends of the same spectrum of the same mask. Finnish M61s are absolutely, amazingly good quality versions of the M9. All right, cheers, bots. I'll have a quick look in a minute, but yeah. So I've always liked the M45, but like I said, I've obviously not got one because even if they're rare in America, they're not turning up here basically. I did see there was an M17. I've got an M17, but I did see there was another M17 for quite a good price on eBay, and I'm sort of debating whether to buy it or not. Like, the actual mask is damaged. It has a chemical hood with it and everything. I think for like £30 a person wants for it. So, it's one of those masks where I'm sort of saying, should I buy it just as a display piece for that money because of how rare they are over here? Cool, Snoz. What frequencies does the Klansman do? Because I've got a few things like obviously this, like the Baofengs and all those sort of things, and some of the other quite good radios. Like the Baofengs aren't good quality radios; they're all right, but somewhere I don't know if it's in this room or the other room. I've got one really nice Radtel radios, whatever it's called. Hype sent me, which I can listen into all the airport frequencies with near me. So I've got a massively big sort of antenna on it. I think it's probably in the other room. Yeah, I think it's in the other room. But Yeah, that M45 looks really nice, box. A video I need to get filmed this week, because I've got the thing to film and I've just not done it yet, is I managed to get a C2A1 filter in its original packaging, so I'm going to open that on a video and just show the C2 compared to a regular C1 filter. Dan, the only bag I've found so far it fits in well is literally a rucksack, like a small size military rucksack. It's too big for the GSR bag even. So yeah, it literally won't fit in a regular size bag, annoyingly. So the best thing I found so far is a Czechoslovakian rucksack. That's basically the same material as the Czechoslovakian gas mask bags, just bigger with his shoulder straps on it. And again, then that bag's far too big, but I'm yet to find something between a gas mask bag size and a rucksack size. Because it's got the stupidly... Again, I know why they do it, because you have to have a big gas compression thing. But it's got the stupidly long barrel on it. Oh, that's still a cool Crazy Egg. Is that like a Mark 1 or Mark 2 helmet, or is it one of those, like, Zuckerman helmets, whatever it's called? I don't have a small box respirator, no. That's interesting, Snoz. Something like Radtel, I think it is. Let me see if I can find a page with it on. You can do it with the Bowfang with a good enough aerial on it. I think it's this one. Yeah, it looks like this. Hang on a second. I'm pretty certain it's this thing. All right, the URL is too long to post in the chat. Hang on, let me see if I can make the URL shorter. Right, here you go. It's one of these. I'm pretty sure that's the model Hype sent me. I want to do a video at some point on all these radios. I've just not got around to doing it yet. I think Mike said yesterday, didn't he, Rich, that he'd be on tonight, but if he's been really busy, I doubt he will be. I managed to get a dual port FM12. That's cool. Because my FM12 sadly is like the single port one. My CT12 is dual port, but yeah, my FM12 is a single port one. I've got two FM12s, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty certain I have two FM12s, and I'm pretty sure both of them are just the single port versions. Well, Rogs, it's a complete fucking human tragedy. As I've said before, lots of Russian soldiers being sent in to die, lots of civilians being killed, maimed, raped, and all that. So I'm completely on Ukraine's side, as you might guess from the flag. But you know, I know some Russian people, and you know, I generally just feel bad for the Russians that they've got such a shitty government and they do something like that. Yeah, Finland will be joining NATO, Joshua, as far as I'm aware, in about a week's time, and Sweden as well. So Putin trying to stop the expansion of NATO has just made NATO much stronger because of his fucking aggression and, you know, childish behaviour. Yeah, sounds good if you manage to get a dual port one. You can always get a blanking plug for the other bit, but yeah. Obviously, two filters makes breathing easier. Yeah, Snoz, unless you're talking to somebody else like that, yeah, my local airport, like I said, I looked up the thing and I can listen to it. If the Bowfang is charged, let me see if this aerial is good enough to pick up my airport. Obviously, you only pick up the control tower when they're actually talking. Right, I want Kidlington Airport because that's my local one. Kidlington Airport frequency. I think it's the 1 2
1 2 1 2
Sorry, that's 950.
2, cancel. 1, 2, 1. 9, 5, cancel.
No, this one can't support the frequency of that particular one. The rad tau can do all of them, but let's see if I can. I'm sure you can get some of the frequencies of it up on this one. 136225. Let me try that one.
1, 3, 6, 2, 2, 5.
Right, that's one of the frequencies my local airport uses, but 133425. I've definitely heard stuff like that before.
1, 3, 3, 4, 2, cancel.
But again, that's annoyingly, this particular radio doesn't do the frequency band for that one. The rad tau does. The rad tau's really good, and I've got a massive fucking aerial on that one. You can listen to frequencies fine, you just can't talk on them. May the 4th be with you, always. Yes. EXO. Oh yeah, I use one of those sites saying that Snoz to listen to the Russian radios, because the fact they're not using fucking encrypted radios in Ukraine means you can listen to a lot of their radio chatter. This particular one doesn't, MG, but I think the rad tau probably does. Like I said, let me quickly have a look for the rad tau, because if it's not in here, it'll be in the other room, so I can show you it. Let me just have a quick look in case it is just here but buried under something. I think the rad tau is just in the other room, most likely. So bear with me a minute and I'll go have a look for it. There we go. So that's the rad tau.
Welcome. Frequency mode.
Right, let me put the frequency back in for the tower, and we'll see if anybody's talking. Obviously, if there's no planes taking off or landing, you won't hear anything. But
1, 3, 3, 4, 2, 5.
so we go. Yeah, this one can do the frequencies for that, but like I said, unless somebody's actually talking on it, you won't hear anything. But I have listened in before where they were just talking about wind speed and whatever else. Oliver, it was gifted to me by Hype. So the aerial's a separate thing. So basically, just to show you, this is one of those radios where you can easily swap the aerial around. So, you know, you can put whatever radio aerial you want on it. So when I've actually used this for practical stuff, I've just put a smaller aerial on it. You know, when you're talking to people that are like within a mile's distance. But yeah, this aerial's huge. Hang on a second. Let's deploy the entire thing. There you go. So yeah, there are planes or air, you know, controls currently, ground controls currently talking to people. With a fucking aerial like this, AK, I don't know, it's got massively long range. Because like I said, this aerial is literally, if you put it on the floor, it sticks up like that high. It's like a meter something aerial. Yeah, that's not an aerial. This is an aerial. And Dan said the exact thing. That's not an antenna. This is an antenna. Yeah. So there you go. The rad tau, like I said, it's really nice. The rad tau. This is definitely the best of all, like the sort of hobbyist level radios I've got. It's much better than the Baofeng as this one. Like I said, I'm not the best person to ask about radios because I'm not a radio enthusiast. I find them interesting, but you know, I'm not into them enough to actually you know, be able to answer your technical questions on them. That's pretty damn good, Snoz. Yeah, I suppose as long as you've got a good enough antenna and you're in the right place, you know, it's probably quite possible, isn't it? I prefer the FM12 to the M50. The C50 would be my optimum choice of those, but you didn't mention the C50. No, I've not seen any of those. Crazy Egg. The Super Nintendos are cool. Let's see if there's somewhere on here that'll actually stand up straight. Probably in front of the YouTube badge. There we go. That way we can just listen in if somebody says anything else on the radio. I don't actually have a proper C420 box. I've got I've done a video I think before on a C420 when I was allowed to borrow one. But the only like PAPR I've got is the like German one, which is all right. It's not bad. Oh. Yeah, I've only got a German PAPR unit, which again is fairly good quality, but it's not a C420. It's a single filter unit. I think it's for wounded soldiers that I've got. Problem with aerials that big is it's hard to stand the radio up. The best thing I find bots with PAPRs is the fact that it actually makes the air cold going into your face. So if it's a hot day, it actually kind of cools you down. That's the best thing about PAPR. Not that I need assistance breathing with a filter sort of unit, but the fact it cools your head down. Right, Steve? Yep, so we're still picking up air control. I think I've watched some of his videos, Smalls. Yeah, I think I said before, bots. I did a charity fun run with it in an S10 and NBC suit. Never fucking again. Well, I do it again for charity, but that would definitely be the thing where I'd appreciate a PAPR just because of cold air blowing into your face. Not on that radio, Trihawk. I've searched through using like online radio things and found like weird number stations before. Yeah, Steve, I've not got loads going on. I've finally got a bit of spare time at the moment because. Yeah, Steve, I've not got loads on obviously at the moment. I've got loads on most of the time, but today's one of the few days I've actually got a bit of spare time, which is quite nice. I had a nap earlier and thought I'd come and do a stream. Not sure what you mean by that, Crazy Egg. What, have you been playing video games or what? There's a lot of surplus sites. So if you literally look up surplus websites in your local area or your country, you can find places that sell masks that aren't eBay. But for the most part, eBay is literally like where 90% of the masks you'll find are for sale. Is May the 4th Israel's Independence Day? I didn't know that. Like I said, everybody knows it as Star Wars Day, but oh no, we've got a Vatnik in the chat, everybody. I don't even know who's talking to, but yes, NLaws certainly kill a lot of Russians, so you can fuck off. The fact that Ukraine asks for a lot more NLaws than Star Streaks prove they work. That's a fucking good price box. I did see an M45 saying that. Being unobtainium. I did actually see one for sale in the UK before. I think it's like £500. I wasn't paying that for it. Yeah, I play games on Steam. What I've been playing quite a bit of recently is Warno. Like the game made by the people who did like Wargame, Red Dragon, Airland Battle, European Escalation. Sadly, I don't know anything about gas masks in Portugal, if you mean like where you can buy them or whatever, because I'm not Portuguese, but I'm sure you can find surplus stores somewhere in Portugal that sell them. Corruption MG, I would assume. Like lots of this stuff, it just ends up getting sold. There's so much stuff that the British Army doesn't officially surplus that just turns up on eBay. Like that's actually my more interesting thing than the GSR, the Virtus helmet. In terms of like, you know, being a really cool helmet that, you know, just now and again they turn up on eBay. But saying that, I was reading the other day, somebody was saying that NLAWs, actually, the ones they fire on the practice ranges, you're allowed to get a deactivation certificate and essentially take them away with you, the British Army. Because there were soldiers saying that one of the best things about getting an NLAW is that the fact that you can then take the scope off of it afterwards and, you know, with an adapter, fit the ACOG on the NLAW, well, it's a 2.5, not 4 times, onto a, you know, whatever. Right, see you, Box. Have a good evening. Afternoon, whatever it is in American time. Yeah, exactly, Dan. It's hygienic reasons. Collectors like us don't give a shit about that. You know, just give it a quick wash out and you're fine. But yeah, for actual purposes like that, they're not allowed to reuse them. I'd assume AK it falls under the same rules, but because I'm not picking it up, it doesn't matter. Because weirdly, with like the Steyr in the background, having it in the background is fine. If I pick it up, that's when my stream can get a strike. Because I've picked a gun up before in a live stream and got you know, like a strike in the stream taken down, like within like a minute of doing it. So it's weirdly, if you pick it up, it's like an automated thing. I'm tempted to get another rocket launcher at some point, but I have to spot one I'd really like the look of. I wouldn't mind getting a man pad at some point, like a Strela or whatever. But D&B Military and a couple of the other places generally have sometimes some like anti-air rockets in. Not rockets, but you know, like the actual deactivated launchers. If I remember right, Stingers are normally quite expensive, but like Strela 2s are cool looking and they're generally like a few £100. Yeah, the problem, Dan, sadly, with RPGs is a lot of them deactivated. You can't put a rocket in it, which looks wrong with an RPG, having an RPG without a rocket. And the ones that are deactivated with like a rocket welded into it are generally like $1,000, I think. Well, Russian packs are constantly on eBay because I've bought in a lot of them. But yeah, like you're saying, they always end up for sale. And again, at least that's the only level of corruption we really have in some ways in our army. Whereas if you look at Russia, it's literally the frontline equipment that's meant to save your life that's being sold off. They'd be very expensive AK-47. You do occasionally see them for sale, but you know that they would literally be like $5,000 or something. Whereas you know I can't really justify spending that. But you know a couple £100 for something like a Strela would be pretty cool. Just keep looking on eBay definitely until one turns up. That's my only real suggestion for you, unfortunately. So what, like, if it isn't in, do you mean like if it isn't in the day Russian thing, you know, like where it's like whatever meal option it is? Because obviously most of the ones I buy are just like the individual bits of it, you know. I quite like the sweet and sour chicken when I've been eating loads of those. Shackleton, now and again eBay sellers do get like a warning from the MOD that they have to turn in their items, but it's quite few and far between. I doubt you can get a real M50 for $50. So I'm assuming somebody's selling like a replica or a fake one or an airsoft one or something for that money. Unless it's somebody who just has no idea what they're selling and they're actually selling a genuine M50 for that cheap. When you say Riot gear, do you mean like the actual body armor bit of the Riot gear? Because like I was showing earlier in the stream, I've got a couple of Riot shields. Hang on a second, get my arm in that properly. I've got a couple of Riot shields. But yeah, at some point I would like to buy like all the proper Riot gear, like Riot. I've got a couple of Riot helmets, you know what I mean, like all the shin guards and all that. Yeah, it's very weird, MG, isn't it? Stuff like that. Like you can buy all the bits from it, but you can't buy it in its original box. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, I've got a couple of Riot helmets. I bet they don't, Dan, but like I said, I've already got one, so tough luck. Oh yeah, I do, Rich. It's literally up there, isn't it? Yep, completely forgot about that. Yeah, I've got this French Riot armor up there, which is like weird foam pads. It looks like, people said it looks like, what's that thing? Not rollerball, is it? Is it rollerball? What's the film where like the people do like that kind of hockey type thing where it kills them? Is it rollerball? I can't remember. But yeah, it reminds me of that, the French body armor. It looks cool, that French stuff, but yeah, it's like a much older style of body armor where it's, you know, like foam sort of inserts in like netting. Looks almost like it's lingerie rather than you know, like the modern sort of plastic shin guard sort of things. You say you can't find one, man from Vault. They do turn up occasionally. If I remember right, when I got my round Riot shield, I had to search something really weird to find it. Like most of them aren't like, you know, sold as something Riot shield. They put them under like a weird name. Yeah, there's my like tower shield or whatever you want to call it. It's got some cracks in it and that because I've had it for a while, but you know, and done lots of videos testing it. I've got some dosimeter pens just sat on the top of it, but yeah, that's my big Riot shield, that one. But in practicality wise, the round Riot shields are a lot better in terms of like they're not very heavy and you can well, they're not heavy, the big Riot shields, it's just they catch the air a lot. That's the main problem, because like the drag you get from like all the air constantly hitting them. That's quite cool, Dan. Did you see at the moment, Dan, there's an ECBA with the plates and the filler on auction at the moment? I think it's like 70 quid at the moment. It was something like that, Rich. I had to actually search, I think you're right there. Like I said, I found loads once I searched the right term, but searching like Riot Shield didn't find any of them. Oh, sadly, Nuclear Yorkshire, I don't have an ROC post. If I had an ROC post, all my videos would be in it. Yes, that's a Steyr org in the background. I don't know what the HBAR bit is, but it's a Steyr org, yeah. But yeah, sadly at the moment, all the fucking ROC posts are going up in price again because of what Putin's done, which again has completely priced me out of sort of saving up for one. I'm still obviously got all my savings in a bank account to actually try and buy one at some point, but yeah, it's just they're just going up silly amounts now. Hopefully, when all this calms down, people will sell the ones they bought for, you know, whatever, and then they'll actually flood the market with them. Yeah, this is just a regular one, Nuclear Yorkshire. So it's like I think that's one of the Australian ones. You know, obviously it's made by Steyr. Sadly, I can't pick it up because I'm on live stream and it'll get me a strike and the video will stop. But it's a I'm pretty sure it's like an Australian issue on that one. But so it's not the heavy barrel version, it's just the regular version. Yeah, the barrels where the gas mask is over there. Yeah, Dan, if you wanted to bid on that, that's quite a good amount at the moment. Obviously, it might go higher because it's like an auction. But I just thought when I saw that the other day, that's not a stupid price at the moment. Yeah, you could do AK, but again, I'd rather move out. That's the whole point. That I wouldn't want to have one here. I'd want to have a bunker somewhere else so I can technically live in it and nobody can bother me. So I can button down the hatches and just ignore people. All right, Tanner. Sorry, I'll be off in a minute, but hope you're doing all right. Yeah, Dan, I've already got obviously ECBA, but yeah, it's just I thought it wasn't a bad amount of money for it. That French body armor, I haven't actually measured the pouch properly, but the French one, you can fit like 3 or 4 ECBA plates essentially size-wise in that front panel on the French body armor I got, so that's actually quite a good front pouch size. Let me go get the ECBA before I finish the stream. Hang on. This is I like it. All right, there we go. I found it. Do you mean like in terms of the filters to block fallout getting in? And it'd probably be just the equivalent of P3, but some bunkers don't even have filters. It just depends on the setup. That's good, Nuclear Yorkshire. Oh, and something very good. I have to be careful how much I show of this in case it gets a stream strike. The DPM pistol pouches are actually really good. I've got a blank fire in there, but yeah, that's the Desert DPM pistol sort of thing with the mollies on the back. That's a really good actual pouch in terms of putting handguns in it. But yeah, I bought that thinking maybe my air pistol would fit in that. No chance. That's far too big. But, yeah, love me ECBA. I might be going to Calvert and Hatch again in a couple of weeks. If I can get the weekend off work in a couple of weeks' time, I'll be up Calvert and Hatch because one of my mates hasn't been there and wants to go. So I said to him, as long as I can get the weekend off work, I'll pick him up and we'll go down there. But again, I don't know if I'll actually be able to get the weekend off work. We'll have to see. Doesn't surprise me at all, Tam was saying that, but yeah, they're good. They're good quality for what they are, as in durable sort of material, and obviously you can fit several types of pistol in it. Did you use it in Bosnia, Shackleton, or are you saying like it was used in Bosnia? But yeah, I really like the ECBA just because it's lightweight and kind of comfortable, when most body armor is not comfortable whatsoever. And the Ukrainians really like these. If you've seen videos, there's lots and lots of Ukrainian soldiers and like civil defense type people wearing these. And sadly, you know, like paramedics and firefighters, because of the fact the Russians are trying to fucking kill everybody. But yeah, you'll see loads of ECBAs in Ukraine. I guess it's that sort of combination, being lightweight but actually fairly well protective. All right, is it one of the blue ones, Shackleton, or is it just like a standard army one? Because a lot of the British ones at the time were blue, weren't they? Like the sort of UN peacekeeper sort of journalist blue. What's my least favourite helmet? It's a good question, actually. Off the top of my head, I don't know. It's going to be some sort of steel pot that's probably not very protective or comfortable. But off the top of my head, I can't really think. Like the regular Mark 6, I don't like. Okay, let me just see. Let's see if I can get the pistol bit. I know this isn't proper webbing. It's interesting if it will work. Probably will. Bear with me a moment. I will be off in a minute though, because like I said, yeah, it actually works on there. Again, I probably shouldn't be showing that because it's YouTube, but yeah, probably actually better on the lower one rather than the higher one. But if it's a nuclear filter, probably not, because nuclear filters are normally just particulates and maybe like something for iodine. The GSR is much better than the GP5. It depends how much you're paying. Just trying to make sure it doesn't get in the way of the thing. So yeah, that actually works quite well on the ECBA like that. And again, I really wish I could pull this out and play about with it on stream, but annoyingly YouTube's policy says you can't. And like I said, I've actually had a video taken down when I was doing a live stream before, and I was playing with a gun on the live stream, so. Yeah, stab vests are more practical because the ECBA, the normal filler in these isn't stab protective. It's just like, you know, a ballistic thing. So actual police vests are better other than the plates in terms of you know, stopping stuff going through. I've not actually tried it with backpack. It should be fine because the rear plate on an ECBA is quite small. As you can see, it's the same as the front plate. But rigging goes quite well over ECBAs, so I imagine a backpack's fine, but I've not actually tried it. But yeah, like I said, the ECBA, I have a very soft spot for the ECBA just because it was a stopgap bit of sort of body armor that's actually really damn good. When I first bought this, it was in Desert DPM, like from Iraq or Afghanistan, whichever one, and I just put a fresh sort of MTP, sort of, you know, the armor and all that in an MTP one, so it was brand new essentially. That sounds good, Dan. I've actually put a armor plate in the front of my Osprey Mark III, but that's not actually like the proper Osprey plate. It's just a AR500 plate. And again, I know steel plates aren't brilliant with armor because of spalling and everything, but I just bought one for the sake of it because I wanted to get one. But yeah, like I said, ECBAs, I definitely recommend these to people if they want to get a lightweight body armor in the UK, because in terms of weight and sort of comfort, these are very good. Best masks for $50. Well, bear in mind I'm in the UK, not the US, so I don't know exactly what you can get for $50. But can you potentially get an M40 in the US for $50? Yes, it does, Dan. I noticed that the other day when I opened mine. Inside the actual pouch, you know, where you put the plate, There's another smaller pouch for an ECBA plate. I'm glad you enjoy the videos, Tri-Hawk Thunder. €50. Can you get a Polish MP5? Like, not an actual French one, but the proper Polish MP5? Because the Polish MP5, if you can get that for €50, it'll probably be absolutely fine. Yeah, my Mark III, Dan, it's not done in the same way to Mark IV. Basically, in the Mark III, you've got a Velcro and button-up pouch for the actual ballistic plate, and then inside that pouch, there's like one of these little pouches, if that makes sense. So I'm assuming you'd either use an ECBA plate or you'd use the regular plate. You wouldn't use both at once. Only problem with the ARF is how badly they discolor and everything. Where's my one? I've got it in this room somewhere. Because I was trying recently to actually see if I could get any of the yellowing off of it. And when I say yellowing, I don't mean like the desert camo on it. I mean the actual, yellowing from it just going off, essentially. But yeah, compared to the Polish MP5, these are a bit crap in terms of how badly the rubber ages and sort of dries out. If it fits properly, Steve, I don't know which thing you've put on it, but if it fits properly, makes an airtight seal, it'll be fine. 65 for a CT12 is a bloody good price, yes, get it. Anyway, I'll be off in a minute. Yeah, on the Polish ones, you get like circles that get smaller. So the same sort of design, but it's like a circle and a smaller circle and a smaller circle. Yeah, that makes sense, Dan. But like I said, the ECBA is definitely my favourite of all the armours I've played about with, just because of the fact it's come. And again, I've worn this where like I've been doing outside stuff before, And the ECBA is definitely a lot more comfortable if it's hot weather, and you're having to do stuff, because it's lighter and it, fits. At least for me, I don't find it too taxing to wear. I know if you had like lots of other equipment with it, it would be a bit more annoying. But compared to like a much heavier sort of full front and back plate body armor, it's a lot more comfortable. The only thing I'd wish for the ECBA is if there was like an attachable collar bit, to stop your neck getting fragged. But that's again not really what this is designed for, is it? It's just a lightweight piece of armor. Sadly, I don't actually have any of those, Nicholas. I know exactly what you're on about, but I don't have any. None of my masks ever came with the litmus paper stuff for testing for gas. Does it look like the Enclave power armor? I mean, I imagine that power helmet and that drill sergeant guy in Fallout 2, but airsoft guns, only a couple. I don't have many airsoft guns at all. I've got one AEG, like good AEG, as in an electric sort of rifle. I've got a shitty sort of cheap AEG that's not any good, but just I've got one. So that's two AEGs technically. That Green Gas Pistol Hype sponsored me for, which is really nice of him. I've got a couple of other airsoft pistols as well, like some of the like spring pullback ones and shoot. But yeah, not loads of airsoft guns, just because, like I said, the annoying thing over here is you have to get them two-tone unless you have all the paperwork for them. The vest itself would be 3A, I'd imagine, either level 2 or 3A for the actual Kevlar. But the plate's level 4. But the plates obviously in this are quite small. So Yeah, the actual plates in this level 4, but the Kevlar itself is level 2 or 3. So you could probably, in theory, 3A even, you could probably, in theory, get better Kevlar and retrofit them into these vests. But the plates are good. And again, like the MOD kept the plates for quite a lot of like newer armors and just put them in them. Anyway, I'll be off now because, like I said, I've been, it's been good to do a stream. So, what videos am I going to do this week? Because I've got a couple of bits I could do videos on, but I'm trying to think of the stuff people find most interesting. Off the top of my head, I can't even fucking think. But there's definitely some stuff that would be quite good for videos. Anyway, have a good evening, and yeah, in a day or two there'll be a video up. But I'm just at the moment can't even fucking think of all the stuff I've got that is in my backlog of I need to get a video done on it. So there's stuff that I need to get videos done on, but I just can't think off the top of my head right now what they were. But have a good evening, everybody, and yeah, there'll be a video up in a day or two, and hopefully I'll get a chance to stream again this week. But like I said, at the moment I don't really know because it depends with work and everything else how much energy I've got. So have a good evening, everybody, and see you later in the week or whatever.